RAGBRAI 2023 50th anniversary or 50th RAGBRAI ride. Just picking back up on the video series of preparations for RAGBRAI, and I thought I would share some of the other gear that we bought to be well prepared for our ride. I say well prepared, but we'll find that out when the ride comes. So stick around and I'll talk about some of the gear we have here. So what you caught me in the middle of was installing this mini bike pump. So just in case we get a flat and have to replace a tube, we're out in the middle of the ride, we have a means to air up the tube. So I figured I would share the pump that I decided to purchase. I got this off of Amazon. You can probably find them at local bike shops too, but it's the Toe Peak Mini Morph. And I'll show you what kind of drew me to this pump was the design of it is really pretty similar to like a floor pump. So when it's all unfolded here, you know, you've got, if this is on the ground, you can rest your foot on here. You've got your hose on your valve stem, and then you've got a little handle to pump up the tire with. So I thought that was pretty handy, aside from, or compared to the pumps that look a little more like this with like a fixed hose and you're just pumping like that. I feel like you can get a lot more leverage on the ground, kind of like your traditional stand-up pump. And then of course I was just installing the bracket for the pump on the bottom of my down tube here, using the multi-tool I decided to go with, which is really just a cheap Blackburn multi-tool with several Allen wrenches, a Phillips screwdriver. I think all the rest are Allen. And then of course you've got a 15 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 9, 10 millimeter wrench there as well within the tool. I know there's a lot, I guess, better ones, but I'm hoping we can get by with this guy. So let me finish installing the pump. I'll show you how it looks, and we'll talk about some other gear that all right, we got our Mini Morph bike pump installed to the bottom of the bike here, and I think our clearance level is going to work just fine. So I'll put the bike on concrete and we'll just kind of take a look and see how it looks. Alright, so we got her installed, and I think our clearance is going to work just fine actually. So I think that's going to work pretty good. Alright, now on to the other stuff. Alright, so who knew bicycling would be so expensive? I'm sure a lot of you did. As a newbie, you might not though. And there's a lot of stuff to, like, starting from scratch, there's a lot of stuff to pick up and buy. Especially, like I say, when you're training or preparing for RAGBRAI. So, I'll show the helmets that we bought. We went with Cannondale helmets. And really honestly what I liked about these is that they were on sale at the bike shop, and they did have the light on the back with three settings. So pretty cool for visibility and plenty of ventilation. Overall, we haven't really had any issues with them. And then just like most helmets, you got your little adjustment here to tighten or loosen the fit. So yeah, there you go, number one, melon protectors. And then I guess going along with those, this is more for sunscreen, but and of course we got white. I don't know how long they'll stay white, but these Halo skull caps, and they are quite the fashion statement. But these will go on under our helmets and protect, like I say, quite the fashion statement, but they'll protect from, keep the sun off of our necks and our ears, hopefully. shout out to Les in the RAGBRAI newbies group. He is actually who I picked up this brand and just this method of sun protection from. So along with the skull caps, we got sleeves, and just white sleeves. These are, I don't even know what brand they are, but I got them on Amazon for $9 for 2 pairs of sleeves, one for me, one for my boy. They seem to fit pretty decent. I'm only 5'7", so not your biggest guy, but seems like it's gonna work just fine. Thin fabric, should keep us protected from the sun. That much less sunscreen to have to smear on. What else did we get? So also, I noticed my hands were going numb a lot. As you research the issue, gloves do help a little bit, but I think a lot of it's just from, not having all the core strength and putting a lot of weight on my hands when I'm riding. Something I'm working on, but again, gloves will help. They'll help for sun protection again, and also, heaven forbid you crash, you'll have a little bit of protection there for your hands as well. Pearl Izumi gloves from the bike shop is what I went with. We did have to get a floor pump. We got just the Bontrager floor pump with the gauge, pressure gauge at the bottom. That way we'll take this along on RAGBRAI so we can check our tires each morning, make sure we're at the right pressure, because you can lose pressure overnight with temperature changes in Iowa going from 90s, possibly even 100 in the summertime during that ride, down to 50s, 60s at night, in extreme circumstances 40s. I doubt we'll see that, but it could happen. Spare bike tubes. I did go ahead and get prescription sunglasses. I'm getting everything dirty on this table I drug out of my garage, but that's alright. Just from the eye doctor, I just got prescription Nike sunglasses, pretty much what he had right there. I think they'll work just fine. They're not particularly for cycling, but I think, like I say, I think they'll work. And then we went with Coleman Carlsbad fast pitch tent, which is a 6-man. There it is. It's over on that corner. 6-man tent. There's actually only 3 of us that'll be in there. Me, my boy, and my dad, who's my support driver. So all 3 of us will be in that tent. Should be plenty of room for us 3. And then last thing I got was just these emergency ponchos, $1 at Walmart. So if you get caught in the rain, especially on a cool day, it'll probably be well worth it. But I think that summarizes our preps to this point. We've still got a couple other things to get. I've got to get, rather than air mattresses, I'm going to do cots for the tent. I got to get some summer weight sleeping bags and a couple other pairs of cycling shorts. So far, my boy and I each have a pair of Pearl Izumi cycling shorts, and just 1 pair at this point. We'll definitely want more than that for the ride. So more to come as we continue our preparations up to the day of the ride. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.